It's showtime. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's time for a live recap of what went down on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Before we jump into it, I just want to give you guys a brief story of my history with this show. Like, I used to be a die-hard Real Housewives of Beverly Hills lover. Like, I loved season 1. I didn't love too much, actually, but I loved season 2. Season 3 was quite good. I love when Yolanda joined the cast. I love when Erika Girardi joined the cast and everything. But then it started to kind of go downhill. And so I kind of like hopped off the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills train. But now that my girl, Garcelle Beauvais, is on the show, like, I could not pass it up this season. I'm watching literally just for her because I loved her. I used to watch the Jamie Foxx show, and like, Fancy was always that bitch. I absolutely love her. Thank you so much to everybody who's been waiting in the room for this recap to begin. I don't know, like, I got up this morning, I was like, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna write some notes, and let's just go live. So I've been like running around frantically trying to get ready for this. So thank you so much for your patience. I see Kenzie, Bitter Topanga, Jacqueline's here, Rachel is here as well, Ramster, Rika. Thank you guys all so much. Helen's here, Schofield's here, and Jacqueline again, as I mentioned earlier. So let's kind of get into what went down on the debut episode. All the girls are on their way to New York for New York Fashion Week, which is their annual pilgrimage as Beverly Hills Housewives. But this year, there is a little bit of a difference. And that difference is that housewife Kyle Richards is one of the designers at New York Fashion Week, and she plans to debut her collection there. Like, she didn't even have like a soft launch anywhere else. She just decided, you know what? I'm designing these muumuus and I am debuting them at New York Fashion Week of all places. And so, like, we all kind of collectively were like, this girl cannot really dress to save her life. So it's really interesting that she, of all people, has a collection at New York Fashion Week. What the heck is it that she's going to be pedaling down the runway? Like, we're all concerned. And the producers of this show are always incredibly sketchy, which is something I love. I love a shady producer. And that's exactly what they did when they showed us one of her designs. Like, of all the designs they could have shown us that Kyle made, they had to show this one.
But this year is different for me because I am actually one of the designers. Look how pretty this is.
Oh, that zebra is amazing on the pink.
And I had the brilliant idea
What is
of
that?
creating a line.
You guys, what the actual heck was that outfit? It looked like one of those, like, you know, like when you go to the hospital, have like a huge operation, or after you have a baby or something, you want to wear something light you can like pee in, get in and out of like really quickly or whatever. That is exactly what her piece looked like. And the producers knew exactly what it was that they were doing when they showed us that outfit of all things. My God, Kyle, never change with your horrible fashion sense. So she and Dorit arrive in New York City, and she is freaking out because she doesn't know how to style her models for the show. And this is happening like a couple of days before the show. So she calls up Dorit and she's like, because remember, you guys, Dorit is like a seasoned designer. Like, before she married PK, she was doing her own like fashion week stuff. And so Kyle was like, you know, what better place to go than to like my friend who has done this whole fashion week thing before. And so she calls up Dorit. She asked her for advice, and like this stuff she was asking her, I was like, girl, like, do you really care about this show, or are you trolling? Like, let's see what I mean over here.
And if you say no, I totally understand. I really don't know what to do with the styling the models.
You've got all the samples there. You have pictures. You got accessories. Is everybody having the same hair and makeup?
When we decided to do a fashion show, I wasn't really grasping what was going to happen in New York City. These are the things I don't know. This is what I don't know. I'm supposed to decide this. But now.
Can you believe that? She is about to do her show. She is like a day out from her show. And she doesn't even know, like, she didn't even do photos for the fittings for the models. Like, anyone knows, even if you've never like done a fashion week or whatever, just from like watching TV or like doing your own basic research or whatever, that like the models, like at fittings, they're wearing the outfits, the accessories that they're going to be wearing at the live show and everything. And then you just know like what to do while you're going like down the runway so that like nothing is kind of missed. So the fact that Kyle didn't even know that, and this is not even like her first rodeo or whatever was really troubling to me. Erika's like, has she ever had any training? Like, she's had her own retail stores before, and she has done like some fashion showcases and stuff like that, but like nothing on this level. So it's so surprising to me that this is like where she decided to kind of make her debut, and that she didn't even do any kind of research. You know, Kyle's at home pretty much all day, every day. So the fact that she couldn't find like, I'm not going to say she couldn't find the time, like the interest in her business to know this is quite telling. Like, she didn't even know whether or not, like, what kind of makeup or hair her models were going to be wearing. The whole thing was a mess. Now, in this episode, we also get to see a little bit more of Erika Jayne. I want to know, you guys, what are your opinions of Erika Jayne? Because I've always kind of like fluctuated in terms of my opinions of her. Her first season, I freaking loved Erika. Like, I thought she was such a wonderful addition, such a different spin on the, you know, overly stuffy Real Housewives of Beverly Hills women. But then over time, she kind of became a little bit too, sorry, but like pretentious for my own liking. So I didn't love her too much. But this season, it seems like she wants to be a little bit real again. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of a clip here on the side. She took the girls with her to her first go-go dancing place that she used to do to make some money when she moved to New York City. Remember, she had a very young son, and she decided to leave him behind so that she could focus on her aspirations of moving to New York City and becoming an entertainer. So this
Jersey, and I'm like,
this
is a strip club. She's like, no, it's a go-go bar. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did it for almost like 2 years. I don't know how to type. I don't know how to be a secretary. I know how to sing and dance, baby.
I did not know that.
I had no idea.
I mean, good for Erika, like being a lot more open about who and what she is and makes her kind of tick. That's an amazing sort of thing. And I'm back on the Erika train this season just because of that. Like, I didn't like the whole I'm an ice queen, so what is it, spare the rod, beat the child sort of thing. Like, I like this new Erika. Kenzie's saying, I love Erika. She became a very introverted sideline character because I think of LVP. That's a very interesting point to make. You know what I always found, and something that rubbed me the wrong way about Erika, was that she had a really extreme envy in a way for Lisa Vanderpump. And it's not about Lisa Vanderpump's lifestyle or her husband or anything like that, but the way that Erika's own husband treated Lisa Vanderpump as opposed to her. Remember, when she introduced him to Lisa over dinner, he treated Erika like a dog, a child at the table that shouldn't have been there. Like, he wouldn't let her speak, but he was like, Lisa's beautiful, she's intelligent, she's a formidable opponent, and he really made her look so damn dumb. And I think that that's something that she never really ever kind of recovered from when it came to Lisa Vanderpump. And she just kept taking out her frustrations on the way that like her husband sort of champions Lisa against Lisa. Did anyone else kind of feel the same way about that the other season? So let's also talk about Dorit. So Dorit is also opening up a little bit more this season because she talks about her lawsuit. Last season, we kind of got wind of her lawsuit through her co-star Camille Grammer, but then all the girls shut it down before a real conversation even could have been had about it on the show. And so, yeah, like, it's nice to see that now she kind of kept her promise. Before, she was like, oh, like, if this lawsuit gets dismissed or whatever, then I'll finally be able to talk about it. And so she kind of actually did do that. And so I was really happy to see a little bit of that from Dorit this episode. So now
Stops everywhere.
let's jump in.
I'm so excited
Look
for
at
you
all this
guys.
stuff. Wow, there's a lot in here. Holy moly.
Is this all of yours? Yes, it's all ours.
I'm seeing things I didn't know about. This whole rack is concerning me, to be honest. These are no.
Sorry, I forgot to set you guys up for this scene. So in this scene, Dorit goes over to Kyle's business partner's like studio with Kyle to help her get ready for the show. Because again, Dorit used to be a famous designer herself. I use famous very loosely, by the way. So she knows her stuff. And so Kyle is over there freaking out about everything because she didn't even see half of the looks before the fashion show. And Dorit really does call her out for it in this scene.
I worked so hard on that one. How do you have a line that you haven't even seen the pieces?
What is this? I didn't see this print either. I mean, I don't know what this is.
What, you just woke up and said, why don't I just throw my name on it and it'll be a success?
This is the first time I'm seeing that.
What did you guys think about Dorit calling her out like that? Was Dorit being a hater, or was Dorit being a little bit real, like about her own shock that her friend was so uninvolved in her own fashion line for something as big as New York Fashion Week? I see some comments from you guys here. RNM says, yes, this episode was good. Dorit is growing on me. She's growing back on me too. She's another one like Erika, where I loved her initially, then didn't like her after the way she backstabbed her friend Lisa Vanderpump. But now I'm liking her again this season. Rika is freaking out just like me about those prints that Kyle is going to be subjecting her audience to at New York Fashion Week. I still cannot even believe half the stuff that she was showing off over there. Yeah, it is really interesting to see what Dorit's storyline is going to be this season as well. Shots of Sunset is also a really good show, you guys. Jacqueline's like, this whole rack concerns me. Yes, it absolutely freaking does. Cade says, no, she was being honest, referring to Dorit. You should be aware of the business moves that you are making. But Courtney disagrees. She says, Dorit was so shady in that confessional, but Kyle was a mess. Someone had to say it. So yeah, it is true. It seems like we are kind of like all on the same page about what the heck was going on with Kyle's clothing line, including Jacqueline over there. So after they go through all of this mess that's going on with Kyle's clothing line, we get the entrance of a new housewife, you guys. And let me tell you, Garcelle's entry into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills had to be one of my favorite, literally one of my favorite housewife entrances into a show, a franchise or whatever of all time. Like, it truly was spectacular. Like, she looked like that rich bitch that we all know and love. Like, let's take a look at what it looked like when Garcelle made her Real Housewives of Beverly Hills debut.
Good afternoon, Ms. Beauvais.
Hello.
Welcome to the Towers at Low Near Palace. We're so happy to have you.
I'm thrilled to be here. It should be fun. I have a love affair with New York City. I love the fashion. I love the people and the combustion. It's just beautiful chaos to me. Being able to move to New York City at 17 years old to begin my modeling career made me strong, because I know I can handle anything. Even those damn housewives.
Ms. Beauvais, welcome to your Tower Quarter suite.
Wow. I won't use the kitchen. Look at this view. I could live like this always.
You should live like
I should live like this. Acting was just the next step. Coming to America was my first real movie, but my breakout role was definitely the Jamie Foxx show. I get a lot of guys that come up to me and go, "You were my crush." And I go, "Were?"
I love a beautiful woman who knows she is beautiful. Look at her, man. She absolutely looks like she's going to be a firecracker on this season of the show. And a really cool thing about Garcelle is that she does have organic friendships with the other girls on the show. So she knows Denise Richards. They've been friends for 20 years, you guys. Garcelle and yes, Garcelle Beauvais. Garcelle Beauvais and Denise have been friends for like 20 years. She also knows Lisa Rinna as well, you know, from the acting world. So it's going to be really good that like that part of her at least is organic. So to introduce her into the show, she was supposed to go out for drinks with Denise Richards, one of her longtime friends. And then when they were kind of like setting the whole entire thing up, they talk about how Lisa Rinna and also Erika Jane was supposed to be joining them for drinks together. But then Teddy was actually like the first one to roll up with Denise and Garcelle. And I was like, really, Teddy of all people? I hate any scene that Teddy is in. I am just not like a Teddy fan at all. I don't like backstabbers. Like, she's very, very shady. So yeah, I didn't love that Teddy was the first one to come over there. But at least Erika Jane did actually wind up coming and spending some time with them. And can we talk about the jacket that Erika Jane rolled up in? My freaking God.
So that we
Beautiful.
could live the American dream. And I'm living the American dream. Sesame Street. That's how I learned English. Really? Yeah.
Oh, yes,
You're going to come in. You better come in like that. Oh, my God. You're
I don't know you, but I feel like I know you.
Oh, my God.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, gorgeous. Bad bitch. That's how you make an entrance.
All right, I need a shot.
Yes, you do. Because these
There.
girls.
Yeah. Are you a tequila neat too? Get the out of here.
No, she
fucking shoots it. She's not a sipper.
Okay, we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it.
Yes.
I live for you already.
I know.
5 minutes.
I told her.
Coming up.
How cute is that? That Garcelle and Erika kind of hit it off like straight off the bat. Like, I hope it's organic. One thing I have to say, and I hope it's not like sounding too shady towards Erika Jayne, but I noticed that like whenever someone new comes along and they're kind of like more like a silent rich type, she doesn't really get along with them or try to like become friends with them. But when someone new comes along and they're already like an established celebrity, then Erika is going to like try her best to be friendly with them. So I wasn't like surprised that she and Garcelle hit it off in that respect. So if you guys agree, let me know in the comments. And even if you disagree, definitely feel free to let me know as well. It's just that's something that I have noticed about Erika Jayne over the years. And so I wasn't like very like, oh my God, wow, what a surprise that she got along with Garcelle Beauvais. I kind of did see that coming from like a little bit of a while away. So next up, we get another new housewife, which was awesome, like the whole back-to-back situation. Her name is Sutton Stracke. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And she is like the rich, silent type. And so again, based off my earlier comment, I don't think that Erika is going to be like super giddy to be her friend. So the 411 on this Sutton girl that you're seeing right here, am I pointing the right way? Right here on the screen is that she used to be married to a hedge fund manager who was so balling. Apparently he owned like a bunch of like sports teams and stuff like that. And so her money situation, where she gets her money is from her divorce from this guy. And so where you're seeing them right now is the kind of studio apartment place where Dolce & Gabbana were holding their clothes for like their notable people to go ahead and to show up in different shows at New York Fashion Week. And so Sutton is so rich that she actually is on that list of people, you guys. So yeah, so that's the apartment that you're seeing over there. And one thing she says is that Dolce & Gabbana, they make her a crown every year for her birthday, just so you know exactly how much coin Sutton is over there rolling up in. And so the producers of the show decided to be super duper shady by showing off a scene of Lisa Rinna trying on a crown, kind of reminiscent of the the tagline that Lisa Vanderpump had before, where she was like, "The crown is heavy, darling, so just leave it where it belongs," meaning with Lisa Vanderpump. And so this is what the shady producers decided to do with that, using Lisa Rinna, who was one of the biggest foils who got Lisa Vanderpump off the show.
The crown is heavy, darling, so just leave it where it belongs.
Oh, wow. It's not so heavy.
Shady, 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 bravo. But that is exactly what we all know and love them for. You guys, was that in good fun, or was that a producer-driven shady plot to once again dig at Lisa Vanderpump? Let's talk about it. Kate is saying the crown was beautiful. The outfit was embarrassing. And that is very true. Helen's like, no, Lisa Rinna gets on my last nerve. I'm seeing Sutton is a snob. Can't stand her already. Yeah, she really does kind of rub me the wrong way later on in the episode, unfortunately. Although I did try to like her as much as possible. Can she put any more filler in them lips, Lisa Rinna? Like, they're already just stuck like that. I remember what they put in it. Like, it just does not go away or dissolve. It is very, very sad. Courtney says these producers knew they were wrong for that. I live for these moments. Lisa Rinna is a piece of work, and that was shady as hell. You guys, I really like this first episode was very playful in my opinion, and I was very happy to see it kind of play out. Like, I think that we're gonna have a lot more, I don't know, fun so far in this season, though I probably am wrong just because of what I saw in terms of the previews for the rest of the season. It looks like Denise is the next one that is going to be attacked. And so, yeah, it's disappointing. So the next day, all of the girls, we're about to see them, they go out for drinks together. And Denise is talking about some very troubling situation that she's involved with her baby daddy and ex-husband, Charlie Sheen. He is behind on $450,000 worth of child support. And she's stressed out because he went to court and said that he had no intentions of catching up on it. And so the stress caused her to be kind of a bitch to the waiter. Listen to what happened.
No problem. By the way,
I want to give you a little heads up about something. It's going to piss you off.
Oh, shoot, really?
Charlie responded publicly.
What did he say?
Dee and her legal posse traffic only in fiction. My day in court is painfully overdue. She's behaving like a coward, and the truth will prevail.
He called me a coward?
A liar.
I've been called worse by him. Actually, that's tame.
And if you want to know what those names are, you can actually just Google it.
Oh, thank you so
that
much.
is not a Raposado. That's a Blanco. Can I please get the
In the
Raposado?
middle.
It is the episode.
That is not. That is a Blanco. Thank you.
Oh.
I know my tequila.
Sorry, this is getting me all tired up.
I know.
Wow, I'm really happy that the girls kind of stuck up for the waiter by telling Denise to calm down and stop being so kind of, bitchy towards the waiter who's just trying to do his job. Although, was the waiter lying about the Empresado thing, like because he didn't want to admit that he was wrong? Like, I was kind of like, just say you were wrong, apologize, and bring back the correct drink. But maybe he really legitimately did not know that someone had used the wrong tequila, because I'm sure he just went to a bartender, gave him the proper order, and the bartender might have messed up. And he's not, a tequila aficionado the way that Denise is, and didn't realize it off the bat. What did you guys think about the back and forth between the two of them? Denise got a lot of heat online for the way she spoke to that waiter. I was saying, I felt bad for that waiter. I did too. Like, this is a table full of super rich women, and one of them is over there, like, kind of like, I don't know, saying that you're not good at your job, and you're on television as well. It must have been extremely stressful for the poor guy. So like, I definitely had a bit of like, oh my God, I feel so bad for him. You kind of heard a little bit of it over there, but Denise was talking about, she was fired up more than she normally would be, just because of the thing that's going on with Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen, again, is behind on his child support for her, and he has decided that he doesn't even want to pay anything. Like, he's not trying to catch up. He went to court to file a motion to get out of paying any sort of thing for it. And so, Erika, who's married to a lawyer, she's like, okay, I'm going to call my husband and get that information for you to see what it is that you can do about the situation. And I really love that about Erika in this episode. She was being a true girlfriend, a true girl's girl, like getting Denise help on the spot. Take a look.
Right away, they tend to grow out of your control. Honey, I have a question. It's a legal question, okay? My friend Denise's ex-husband has filed documents saying that he no longer wants to pay child support. Like, does she have to show up, or does she not have to show up?
We got to be on the safe side. You have to show up. But she should be there with me or somebody else.
I love the way you volunteer yourself for this. I love it. All right, well, I'll have her call you later. Bye-bye.
So sweet of Erika to get that advice from her husband for Denise right there on the spot. But unfortunately, Denise didn't take it too well. Like, after that call, Denise was like, I still don't know. Like, I'm not sure. Erika was like, girl, don't wait until like the end of the weekend or whatever. Go upstairs right now, get yourself a lawyer and deal with this. And Denise, in her confessional one-on-one to us, the audience, she was like, it's not her family, it's mine. I know Charlie Sheen a lot better than she or anyone else does. And I don't want to handle it that way. In fact, I don't think that I'm even going to be showing up to court. And I don't know why she would do that to herself. Like, really, girl, get your child support. You are owed it. Like, it's his obligation to do that for you. Erika said, Kenzie says that Erika was just trying to flex her husband. I am dead to the bed, girl. Courtney, in the same scene, didn't Denise say she didn't want to get involved in the courts and stuff? Yeah, she did say that ahead of Erika calling her husband. But Erika, she was like, no, like, you can't just ignore this and hope that it goes away, because then you're just not going to get the money that you're owed. Anna saying, honestly, Erika in this episode was the best that I've seen in a few seasons. Yes, 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 yes. I completely agree. I'm loving this Erika. She's trying her best. I think that the feedback online has really gotten to her, because a lot of like very prominent podcasters and bloggers about this show have called her out for being an ice queen, like super pretentious and like standoffish with everybody, too cool for school, and just not open about her own life, and calling for her to get kicked off the show. And so now she's like, oh, damn, like I really do have to freaking bring it. So the next scene that happened after this was all the girls going over to Kyle Richards' pre-New York Fashion Week dinner. Before I play the scene for you guys, I want to know how you felt about the way that Sutton decided to be super duper judgmental of literally everybody's outfits at this dinner, especially considering what she herself was wearing. Kyle had a very beautiful glittery jumpsuit. Garcelle looked stunning in that yellow. Dorit's outfit was my fave. Fenty by Rihanna, she rocked it. And especially with that little Jacques and Me handbag as well. She looked so freaking chic. Best dressed of the night, in my opinion. And then Sutton rolls in like a basic black, what was it, a dress or a top? Like, I don't even know. It was so basic and unnotable that I cannot really even be all that bothered to remember it. But she felt like she was the fashion expert of the night.
Look at us, we're sort of twinning.
How are you?
My friends have flown across the country.
Hey, Gorgie.
And yet, it's hard to get everyone together at one time.
I miss you.
It's like we're home in LA. Everyone's just doing their own thing. Hello? Aren't you here for my show?
I'll have a vodka club soda, 3 squeezed lemons. Carcass out. Carcass out? Just like the lemons out.
Can I get Casavita soda, 3 limes, carcass out?
I'm just excited about tomorrow.
I don't think I've ever had this much going on at one time. I really feel very overwhelmed. But think about after tomorrow how you feel.
I do, but then I leave for North Carolina.
I know,
To meet my family. When I was 8 years old, I played Lindsay Wallace in the original Halloween. So
Kyle in this damn
we
Halloween
never-
movie. No one cares, girl.
Are you more nervous about the fashion?
Oh, he's probably drunk and
But anyway, yeah, all the girls, in my opinion, looked very, very beautiful. So I didn't really care for what it was that Sutton came along and had to say about them, with the exception, though, of Erika. Like, her little butt cheeks dangling out of whatever it was she was wearing did look tacky. But everyone else looked beautiful. Like, even Teddy, she was wearing a plain black romper. She's in the early stages of pregnancy, okay? And, like, at that stage, I would imagine that people are kind of, like, uncomfortable, especially someone as fit as Teddy, where you're like, I don't know what the heck is going to, like, work with my body type right now. So, like, I'm just going to try on whatever does feel good for me right now. And, yeah, it just sucked that Sutton had to kind of come over there and act like that, like, straight off the bat. I'm distracted right now reading you guys' comments. I'm going to go back to Courtney's about like her training bra that she wore in that earlier scene with Lisa Rinna in that see-through pink top, and then the shorts. Like, it didn't suit her body type as well. Like, even like aside from the bra, the outfit didn't suit her body type. So in my opinion, I might not be correct, but Sutton has like an apple-shaped body. So for her to wear like that heavy, heavy top thing, and then it's see-through and it bulges out in the middle, and then it's narrow in the shorts, like, though it just did not really flatter her body type at all. Charlene says this will be Sutton's last season. Sutton didn't even get a full-time diamond. Apparently the tea is that her husband did not want them to film with their child. And that's why Sutton was kind of demoted from housewife to friend of. Ramster saying shoulder pads are back. I think so. Like, did you not like the one that Dorit was wearing? I thought she looked freaking beautiful, 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 beautiful. And let's see what else we're getting over here. Anna says, I was in love with Dorit's outfit. Also, Sutton with that outfit should be getting fashion critique from everyone else. Yes, you guys. Kenzie's like, let's be nice. Sutton tried. That's the spirit. Did you notice how Kyle continued to not really know anything about her own fashion show? She's sitting there at the kind of dinner party with all her friends, and she calls out to her business partner to ask how many looks they're sending down the runway. I was like, really, girl? You don't even know how many looks you are sending down the runway of your own fashion show? Dorit was 100% right about Kyle just slapping her name on it, running around pretending to be super anxious as this huge, like, big boss who's stressed out about her job, which she's really just letting everyone else do the work and just, like, are you coasting along? You know, like when you do a group project and someone coasts, that's how I see Kyle as here right now. And she didn't even know how many people are SVP'd, how many VIPs are SVP'd for her show either. I was like, I don't know. I was just not feeling it whatsoever. So on the way to the show, and I think this exposed Kyle like more than anything, on the way to the show, her assistant or whatever guy calls her to tell her, hey, listen, the show producer called me this morning to tell me to keep you away from her. And that was presumably because of their confrontation the day before. Remember, the girl was trying to give Kyle advice about like how they need to break up the fabrics and stuff and like roll them down the runways and everything. And Kyle was very bitchy towards her and kind of dismissive of what it was that she was saying to her. And she just kept on continuing with not really knowing what it is that she needed to do for her own show. I'm going to put it on the side here. I use HeyU, by the way. I use HeyU. It's like $5 a month Canadian to kind of keep track of all of these different housewife shows. And the one negative thing I have to say about it is that it doesn't give you timestamps off the bat. So I'm like clicking through, trying to find the scene for you. I really want to make sure that you guys see what happened in the car between Kyle and her assistant guy, because it really did expose the hell out of her. Let me switch screens for you guys over here.
Hey, what's up?
So I don't know what happened, but Tracy told me that I need to keep space between you and her
What?
all day today at the show.
Stop. When I went in, I was stressed and there was some things I didn't like.
It's going to be crazy backstage, so let's not get too ambitious.
Well, she's gonna blow.
Well, I will blow, and she won't have to be there. I am going to avoid her, not because she told me to, because I don't know what I'm going to do. And there's too much at stake today.
So that's gonna be interesting. Okay, so call me when you're here.
Okay, thanks.
Guys, how did you feel about that? Whose side were you on in that entire confrontation? Did you think that the stage producer had the right or was in the right in requesting that the guy keep Kyle away from her, or no? In my opinion, she was in the right, because here Kyle is just putting her name on things, not really knowing what she's doing, but she's getting in everybody's way. And it was just, no, like the girl has a real job to do. She was like, listen, Kyle, I have a real job to do. You can play cute for TV, pretending that you are actually putting this together, but it's on me to make sure that this runs smoothly. The only person I felt like was shady in that interaction was the guy who called Kyle to tell her about the whole thing. Like, I felt like he was just being messy. I'm seeing from Maria, Kyle just slapped her name on clothes she likes, right? Can Kyle even spell fashion show? She doesn't know anything about it. Kyle was extremely hands-off when it came to the show. Seems like she did not put much effort into it. Like, it really is showing up here. Erika saying there's people who live and breathe that kind of fashion life, and it's a little disappointing that someone given that opportunity and not taking full advantage of it. I feel Dorit's frustration with Kyle because she actually cares about fashion, and for Kyle's actions handling her line probably felt inauthentic to her. Yeah, you guys, like, I'm going through all of your comments and you are absolutely right. Like, Kyle did not come off well in this episode whatsoever. Like, she really looked like she just popped on up here, rolled out of bed, and decided to pretend to be like, you know, this big boss dog that she absolutely was not. Like, when it came to this show in particular, like, it's very, very disappointing how little work and care she put into it. Hey, Lauren, by the way, and Bitter Topanga, thank you guys so much for being here. Oh yeah, they love the drama I'm seeing here. Oh yeah, like he was just using it for the drama. Yeah, he was being absolutely messy, trying to rile Kyle up before her show. I felt like that was something that he could have told her after the show. Like, why put that kind of anxiety on her? Now, so over here, the next day, so they're on their way to the show. Sorry, this is the same day. And this is what you're going to see. Kyle wants to put her daughter in the lineup. All of a sudden, the day of the show, Kyle rolls out of bed, pops up behind the scenes, and says, you know what? Guess what? I feel like putting my daughter in the show. Really, girl? Really? This is exactly why the lady did not want to be bothered with Kyle in the freaking first place. Like, she has no kind of regard or care for what anybody really even is doing over there. Like, Dorit is backstage giving Teddy walking lessons, you guys. Dorit is the one handling that. Like, it's even her show, right? Like, that's all what she's doing right now. Meanwhile, Kyle is running around trying to make sure her daughter gets on the show for whatever freaking reason. Like, why could this not have been figured out months in advance, even weeks in advance, days in advance, the night before? Like, she literally walked up to the woman who didn't want her around her, knowing that, and said, hey, listen, I want my daughter in this show, and just acted like a, you know, a bitch about the whole entire freaking thing. Watch the interaction play out, you guys.
Oh my God!
So this is how Kyle pays me back for saving her entire show? This is like sabotage. I get clown shoes? They're huge. Oh, Dorit.
Okay, so go down, here, go down at the end.
Center, riser, your thing.
Tracy? So my other daughter, Alexia, ended up coming in and she's walking.
That's fantastic.
Too. So
we just have to figure out where the color story is, because like we had everything lined up and you pull close one thing.
Right.
We're gonna like reorganize again.
Okay.
I was up until 5:30 in the morning.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yikes.
right. So just let's get through this.
Yeah.
Figure out
I'm just making sure that you knew.
Oh, honey,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Cool.
Perfect. Regardless of whether you had my daughters in the lineup or not, they're walking in the show, and I am not to be with right now.
What the heck was that? It felt like Kyle was doing her best to sabotage the show literally at like every single turn. Like, what was she doing? Like, what's her excuse for not, because this daughter, she talks to every day, I would assume, or lives with her or something. So they could have figured it out way in advance, well in advance, that that's what she wanted to do. So the fact that she would go up to her literally the day of the show, the hours before the show, and this woman's like, I stayed up all night working on everything for this. All of a sudden you want to throw your daughter in, and then Kyle has to act like so rude, like a total diva about it. Like, that really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, what the heck was it that she was doing? Like, this to me, I'm like, you know what? This woman was so justified in asking that man to keep Kyle away from her, because Kyle is a mess and a plumb fool. And, you know, she just was so freaking insufferable. You guys, what are your comments on that in terms of Kyle? I'm seeing a lot of that stuff, like poor Tracy. Kyle was trying to be intimidating. Yeah, she was. She was trying. And Tracy was not having it. Tracy really let it be known on camera. Sis, I've been working on this all night. Where was Kyle all night? Why is Tracy working on this all night? Like, Kyle didn't know about the hours that this woman was pulling. How far removed was Kyle from this entire process? She absolutely was freaking obnoxious. Thanks so much for watching, Nikki. If I was Tracy, I would have pulled Kyle to the side and would have ripped her a new one. Like, who are you to be so entitled? Yes, you guys, come through. She was sabotaging everything. And guys, now speaking of insufferable people, can we get into our fashion expert? Remember the girl who had everything bad to say? Everything bad to say about other people's outfits, but then she pulls up into the show wearing this. Guys, what the heck was Sutton wearing to this damn show, you guys? Let me know what you thought about this outfit.
All right, let's go.
Fun! I can't wait.
This is exciting. So we're G0 and
what is that? Seriously. A high-low top, which looks like polyester, one of those ones where you put your hand on the back side of it, you see right through, with a cheap plastic floral crown. Are those denim jeans? Are those leggings? What the heck was that? And then shoes that did not even match. This was the woman who was judging other people's looks the night before. This is the woman that Dolce & Gabbana is inviting to their studio place to have her pick of their couture outfits. This woman, really, girl? I cannot with Sutton. Like, I had to pause and look 1,000 times over at this outfit because I could not believe that she was freaking serious whatsoever. She looked like damn Batwoman I'm seeing over here. I chaperoned for a middle school dance, curtains, literally. What is that? For real, what is that? She was wearing grandma's tablecloth as a cape. Yes, we absolutely freaking have to drag her, girl. She looked a mess. She's the type to wear, yes, she absolutely is the type to just be out here bragging about how much something costs versus whether or not it actually looks good. Like that crown, what was it? The Carol Baskins crown. Like, come on. She looks a mess. And again, you know, off of Maria's point right here, everything she wears is so counterintuitive to her body type because she's round in the middle and then skinny in the arms and the legs. And then she wears things that just further emphasize that. Like, why are you wearing tight pants with a flowy high-low top that's already like, you know, making you look larger than you actually are? Like, money truly cannot buy you any kind of taste because this one is proof of it. She looked a whole entire mess. And so now her and Garcelle sit down and watch Kyle's runway show. And I do actually have to say, though, that Kyle's clothes looked so much better on the runway than they actually did on the hangers. But that's not saying too much because they did not look good at all on the hangers. But yeah, like, what did you guys think of her stuff when they actually did come walking down the runway? And actually, particularly as well, what did you think about how she dressed every single housewife? I liked what Rinna was wearing. I liked what Teddy was wearing, but she made Erika Jayne look very kind of like moo-moo matronly. Take a look.
There's Alexia. Woo! Woo! Work it. Woo!
Come on, Sophia, put your hand up.
Look at this walk.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the girl that she threw in at the last minute, you guys, just for her to walk down the runway like that. Let's continue watching. I better stop myself.
This is cool. I love everything about it.
I want it right now.
We'll have to fight for it.
I did not fight for my clothes.
I'm getting it.
Here comes Erika.
I would have liked to have seen Erika in something else. I thought it was a little frumpy looking. There, I said it. Is she behind me?
Oh, Denise is so not nervous. Nice.
Oh, you next, Teddy? You got this. Here goes.
Okay, guys, Teddy is about to walk, and I really want to set this up for you because I rewinded and rewinded and rewinded because it was so damn funny. So they had this really big, like, running gag last season about the way that Teddy walks. She walks like a linebacker in, like, high heels. And so the producers this time decided to really, 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 like, hammer it in. So when Teddy walks down the runway, take a really close listen to what it is that the producers did for her because they were not, like... Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to press play. You guys listen closely to what happened when Teddy walked down the runway.
It was the famous Teddy walk.
Try to walk better than Kyle's walk in Provence. Try to walk better than Kyle's walk in Provence.
Like she got off a horse. I know. Okay.
My walk is so bad. It's just like my dad's.
Work it, girl. So pretty.
You got this, Teddy. She looks amazing.
The poor girl got literally no music, like nothing whatsoever. All they did was play like what sounded like horse hoofs, like going on pavement or something. I was like, Teddy, like really, she deserved better than that. I don't even like this girl, and I would not do her this dirty. The producers are a damn mess for the way that they treated Teddy in that scene. A lot of you guys are agreeing, like, what was going on with the way she was bobbing down the runway and everything, and the voiceover was so damn shady. I had so much fun with this episode, you guys. Like, it really was quite funny. Now, at the end of the fashion show, we get Kyle crying about, like, how much work went into making this fashion show work and, like, how proud she is of all of her friends for walking down the runway so beautifully and representing her clothes so well and everything. And then we get like a huge montage of what's to come on this season of the show. Take a look.
Happy that day. It's actually hard to even imagine how terrible things would soon become.
Who gives a sh**?
Well, then, see, if you had been honest.
I was honest.
No.
I've been honest. I'm done.
Denise.
No, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not f***ing doing this.
Denise.
We
Don't
need to
say
do
a
this.
f***ing word. If there's something you want to run from, thank so much. That's the worst thing you can do.
We're on camera. Don't say a f***ing word.
We sign up to show our real lives. You can't hide anything. You're leaving. Why?
I'm sure they'll fill you in.
Okay. Do I think it's comfortable to talk about my daughter's eating disorder? No. But that's life.
I am not doing this, you guys. Stop. I'm stopped. Bravo, bravo, f***ing bravo. I'm out. I'm not f***ing doing this.
Denise has a secret. And no matter how hard you try, the truth always comes out.
I'm a very married woman. And I love my husband.
You don't have to explain yourself.
Heavy, heavy, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Did you see all the headlines?
I did.
I bet you anything she doesn't show up for the reunion.
Oh, she's done. If you ask me, we would never see Denise Richards again.
Back bitches.
So Denise, you ready to talk about all of this?
And there you go, you guys.
To learn more about the house.
That's what went down on episode 1 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Guys, it looks so damn juicy. You know, I do have to admit, though, you guys, that my problem with The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for the past couple of seasons has been the ganging up on people. Like, I love when we have all these different storylines and people fall out individually and stuff like that, but then they all fall back together and everything. But on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they always choose one weak, vulnerable person, and then they just beat them to the ground. You know, they did that to Lisa while she was mourning the death of her brother. It was just too hard to see, so I didn't watch that season. And now this season with Denise, it's looking like they're trying to cause a divorce in her, you know, between her and her husband or something. And I don't know, it's sad how much they will kick people while they're down. I don't get it. I've already known they're going to make me mad just like last season, right? They're really going to go in. This show saved me during quarantine. I'm going to be hooked. Girl, me too. For the first time in a very long time, I'm going to be watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with bated breath. Crispy says, I enjoy Erika Jane. I think she got caught up in her own hype for a minute. Yeah, she did. But overall, I like her. I'm in total agreement with you, girl. Sounds like Bad Girls Club mentality, teaming up on someone. Yeah, they really love to see someone suffer, and they just want to make sure that they end them and get them to quit the show at the end of the day. You know, it's a bit much. Helen, did she cheat on her man? That's the rumor. So Brandi Glanville is about to come back on the show and then claim that she and Denise had an affair behind Denise's husband's back. And so, you know, there's been threats of lawsuits between the two of them over this secret. And yeah, we're going to see it all play out this entire season of the show. I'm really loving all of your opinions. Watching someone get attacked like that is no fun to watch. I don't care who it is. I'm going to start saying that. I am a very married woman. And yeah, it absolutely does finally look like we're in for a good season when it comes to The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you guys. Denise's husband was doing Brandi. No. Apparently it was Denise that was doing Brandi behind her husband's back. You guys, anyway, that has been a recap of what went down on the first episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I really enjoyed being able to talk about it with you guys live, watching the video clips as well, and breaking it down, getting all of your different perspectives. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm really excited to continue on with the show. The Real Housewives of Potomac, which is my holy grail of housewives, comes out in May, so in just a couple of weeks now, and I'm going to be covering that as well as keeping up with the Housewives of Beverly Hills. So please stay tuned for all of that going on this season. Again, thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.